Welcome back to DBL. Gender equality. It's something so many of us dream about. Well, a mom in Utah is hoping the way she's raising her child will bring us closer to that reality. That's today's DBL Spotlight.
Imagine a world that doesn't separate things by pink or blue, boy or girl, masculine or feminine.
When Zoomer was born in 2016, we decided not to assign a gender to them.
Instead of using the pronouns he or she and him or her, Zoomer goes by they, them, and their.
And we don't disclose information about Zoomer's genitals to people who don't need to know, so Zoomer doesn't get stereotyped in a binary way.
Gender creative parenting allows children to be exposed to a variety of gender types so they can explore their gender without restriction from society or the gender they were born with.
There's no such thing as like girls' toys or boys' clothes. We just really strive to expose Zoomer to all sorts of colors and clothes and toys and books.
And while the outstanding majority has been supportive, at times, society's standards have forced her family to make some difficult decisions.
We had gone to a track meet for kids, so we went down and Zoomer was so excited to run. And then one of the organizers was like, 2- and 3-year-old boys in this line, 2- and 3-year-old girls in this line. And I was just really disappointed about it, really sad about it, right? Like, there's truly no difference in like the running capabilities of a 3-year-old, right? Like, they're all a hot mess running down the track. And so we decided to leave.
But when push comes to shove, Kyle wouldn't change her parenting decision, because in the end, Kyle's dream for Zoomer should be every parent's wish for their child.
I just want them to feel completely loved and accepted and celebrated for who they are, and like they never have to feel shame.
Kyle, welcome to DBL. Thank you for sharing your family story. I am not a parent, I want to be honest about that, but raising kids, I believe, is the toughest job in the entire world. And I have to imagine that this lifestyle could make parenting more complicated. So my first question is, why do this?
Sure. I think there are two aspects to this of why I do this. The first is that I know a lot of transgender people and intersex people and non-binary people, and their parents didn't get their gender assignment right. And so I thought, you know, we could kind of just leave that gender card blank and let Zoomer tell us who they are. And then the other aspect is that even if my kid does identify as a girl or a boy, there are so many gender stereotypes that get put on kids really early in life that can limit their experiences. So I figured maybe we could just shield them from these gender stereotypes, and then they'll have more freedom to explore gender and their interests without, you know, shame or expectations.
Zoomer is in preschool, and I have to ask, talk to me about the kids in their class. How do they respond to Zoomer?
Zoomer was in a preschool with kids since they were like 5 months old, so they all grew up together. And I think we're lucky that we live in a progressive city and we go to a school where all of the parents really have similar parenting values as us, right? And like, there's lots of boys at the school who wear dresses and lots of girls at the school who have short hair and don't like wearing dresses. So there's a lot of playing with gender that's already happening anyway. So I don't know if you were to walk into Zoomer's school, you'd go, oh, there's the gender creative kid, right? Like, they're all pretty gender creative there.
That's interesting. Now let's take it out of that bubble. What do you think, and what would you say to people who take the other side? This lifestyle, let's say, could be confusing to a child or could create some problems in the future. What do you say to that, Kyle?
It's a good question. It's a fair question. It's a question that we get a lot. The way I see it is that, like, the reality of the human experience is that people are diverse, right? And like, people play with gender in different ways and experience gender in different ways. And we're just teaching Zoomer that reality. So instead of teaching them, you know, this binary way of life, and then they'll grow up and be a little bit surprised that, oh, that's actually not how gender is experienced, I think we're just exposing them to the gender spectrum from the very beginning.
Have you found that there are any hoops, as you say, with Zoomer? Has Zoomer had any problems with your gender creative approach to raising them?
So Zoomer now, like around their 4th birthday, really started like gravitating toward a gender and claiming a gender identity and pronouns. and we're totally honoring that. We use they, them like in these public spaces.
Right.
Because we want Zoomer to be able to have the autonomy, you know, of being able to say like, hey world, this is who I am when they're ready. But Zoomer seems to, like, just like every other kid, right, like has found the words that fit for them, and they express themselves how they want. They choose the clothes that they want, the toys that they want. They tell us what types of words they want us to use to describe them. And so I don't think that it's been confusing for them. I think it's been really liberating for them, right? And they've had all of the resources and language and framework and support that they need to be able to come to their own identity, communicate that with us, and be accepted and loved and supported for
Wow,
it.
you've set them up very well. You've written a book about your gender creative journey with Zoomer. I want to know, what's the most important thing you want the readers to take away from it? What do you want to get across? What's the kernel that you want them to take away from that?
My hope is the take home from this book is that it can just help activate the switch in a reader's mind of being able to see how gender stereotypes are really all around us, and that we can commit to challenging them.
Check out our new book, Raising Them. It's in bookstores now. Kyle, again, such a rad person to talk to, learn a lot, and start a great conversation. Thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
And great haircut. We'll be right back.
Thank you.